What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode
Ow.
163 of Ghosts of the Night, a paranormal and true crime podcast.
And tonight, it's an alien and possible cult podcast.
I have something. I have to talk about that for
What, the culty part of
the
it?
culty. Well,
It's very culty.
but
It's the most relaxed of culty.
I'll get into it. But if you are one of our longtime listeners or watchers on YouTube, you can always join us live on YouTube at Ghost of the Night. It's real simple. We do these live. We record these live, I should say, on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. For right now, we'll see how that goes.
I love it. The screaming Mimi. He's like, I told him, I was like, we're going live if you're bored. And he was like, well, I'm at work, but if you upload them, I was like, dude, we're on all the apps. He was like, school, this is awesome. I was like, this is awesome. What the fuck do you mean? Your TikTok is like alone is bigger than all our social accounts.
Tyler asked a question. You all want fan mail?
I was thinking about that. How much is a P.O. box?
I don't know. It's not that much.
Can't be that much.
You can just email us.
That's also a thing.
gitmpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, I was thinking about it. Like, I was thinking, well, we should try a P.O. box.
We might do that eventually.
Just best case scenario, this takes off a little bit and we have one already.
When it starts taking off a little bit more and we get more, because we have thousands of listeners on the audio.
Do we?
Yeah.
Total since the inception of the show.
No, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what our numbers look like.
Downloads per month on the audio.
It's like sending a package.
But we'll work on that. But
I mean, anyway, we can always square that away. It's not people like I don't mind. It's just like other podcasts have brought in other people as like researchers or shit like that. Or like how we have Gonzo as a mod who's never in the fucking chat anymore. That sack of cockbags. Love you. But like, it's the chance of us having thousands of ears on a regular basis. That's when the P.O. box comes in handy. Right. A, because then people will want to send us things. B, I don't want, if we had 10,000 downloads a week, I don't want fucking 10,000 people knowing like my home or work address. You know what I mean?
Like right now, I would not mind.
I mean, we're talking about fucking meeting up and having a beer with Tyler. So.
But we will get to that point eventually, and we will cross that bridge.
We'll be famous one day, mama.
When we get to it. But tonight we are doing Raelism.
Trying to be the Ron Jeremy of podcasting, but with a way smaller dick and less body hair and less sexual assault charges.
That's true.
He looks like shit. Did you see him?
Yeah, I've seen
his mugshot. It is fucking. Yeah. He looks like Bigfoot with mange.
Wow,
he does. Like just with a bigger dick. I'm pretty sure even Bigfoot goes, Jesus Christ, look at that fucking knee slapper. Ron Jeremy's just like, hey, you want to touch it while I yell mean things at you and make you feel like you don't belong? Because I'm Ron Jeremy. Hi, I'm Ron Jeremy. I'm a sexual predator with a huge dong who is also on camera putting my own dong in my mouth.
I would if I could.
I don't know if I would.
I wouldn't have to leave the house. The past week wouldn't have been that bad. No, this is our first episode of the new year, 2020.
Oh, 2022.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2022. What did I say? 2020?
Yeah, you're 2 years behind.
I'm fucked.
You're like those memes that say when you realize that 2022, the new year is pronounced 2022.
That's what I was going for. I just forgot the last part.
I don't know.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I don't know. I
have an excuse.
I really liked how triumphant my 2022 post was. We're back, bitches.
But for our normal listeners and watchers, we were not here last week. We did not take off because of the holidays, because we worked through that shit. We don't give a fuck.
Phil prolapsed his rectum trying to take a big old Taco Bell shit.
Nope, that's not what happened.
It fell out.
Your boy here, everybody needs to know, your boy caught the Rona.
The one member of this podcast that is vaccinated
got the Rona. Got the Rona. I survived the vid. And like we said,
I say it all the time. I'm immune. I'm part Asian. It is of my people.
And I was concerned because when I think I got it, I was with you.
I got tested.
I know. And you got tested, said you were negative. But
said I was negative.
I don't give a fuck. I mean, I've been vaccinated. I'm a breakthrough case. I'm special. So I don't want to hear your shit. I was vaccinated and got.
You gonna get the booster?
Why the fuck would I get a booster now?
I agree. Go on. I also heard heard that booster has a very good chance of putting you down and out for a couple days.
I will say this.
Oh, look.
What? Oh, right there where you left it.
I missed you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
What?
I didn't miss you, but I missed you.
I don't blame you. I will say this. For those people, I was never a COVID denier. I believed it was a real thing because I know too many people that had, but I made it through a year and a half and I am, even during the lockdown, I did not do anything different. I worked. I did not shut down. Back in 2020, I worked every day. I did not
taste like freedom.
I did not get the Rona. However, I get vaccinated, and a month and a half, 2 months later, I get the Rona. So I got a breakthrough case. I'm fucking special. I'm like Bill Maher.
They gave him the Rona and the vaccine. They're turning the fucking frogs gay.
But I will say this: the shit was no joke.
I blame it on Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. And Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
He's dead, but he did it.
But the Rona for me, it was real. I felt like
you got it way worse than I did last year.
I felt like complete ass.
Yeah.
And not the good kind of ass. The porn star after a 20-hour shoot kind of ass. That's how I felt.
Oh,
that's how bad I felt Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Like a German Goo Girls porn star. If you've never heard of that website, don't look it up. It is haunting.
I felt like I was reamed hard.
It's a bunch of European women, and they engage in activities that rhyme with shmooshmaki.
Oh, but I will say this: I'm segueing back into.
It's basically like watching it. Like if they rolled humans through a Krispy Kreme donut factory.
Oh, ew!
Just yeah, and those if the Krispy Kreme donuts had faces and spoke only with European accents, then you have tripleg.com. I found it when I was in high school. I was like, what the fuck? This is real?
I will say this, though. Like I said, COVID was bad. It's real for me. I did not get congested. I did not feel like I was going to die.
God, that was a good shot.
I was just exhausted. I mean, fatigue.
Dude, I feel like I got tested because I was around you, and I got that. I was getting over this head cold until the cold snap this weekend. And it just came back full force again. No fever or anything. But like this, what I've been dealing with has been at its worst as bad and lasted longer than when I had it.
Well, because when I told you, because
as I sniffle into the fucking microphone,
I told Travis Monday, I sent him a text message saying we might have to push the podcast because I'm feeling like shit and I wanted to get tested. And I was getting tested the next day. Travis texted me the next day and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was actually getting tested when he tested me, when they were testing me, and I said, I'm positive. So, and I told him, I was like, we might do a Thursday episode just via phone. I'll call you and we'll do something. But that wasn't happening because Thursday it would have been you on the phone, and I probably would have shot myself. That's how bad I felt.
I don't think it would have. I don't know if we could do that shit anyway.
We could do it. Just shoot the shit.
Like we could, but I don't know how good it would be.
It'd be good for a shit show if we had.
Like maybe if I was sitting at the bar. Other than that, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I got some stupid YouTube video about fucking. I don't even know. I don't even have an interest lately. I watched a documentary about Beanie Babies.
I don't.
That shit. It was actually pretty interesting because it dove into like the secondary market.
Take me now.
Well, it was mostly the secondary market they talked about, which was very interesting to me because I was alive for that shit. I was at the forefront. I had Beanie Babies. Everybody had fucking Beanie Babies, as stupid as they were.
Yeah, but I was a little. I felt like shit, and let's face it, I'm old. I'm in that fucking.
Oh, I thought for sure you were gonna die.
I'm in that pushing 50. Diet consists of chicken wraps, chicken bowls, beer, and Diet Mountain Dew, and occasionally Coke. And
mostly Coke anymore.
Well,
it's just so crisp and good. A can, a cold. It's got to be a cold can.
And so I am not the picture of health.
Unlike myself, who has 3 chins, 4 tits, a stomach the size of a fucking half barrel, and just lives off of nicotine, alcohol, and caffeine.
I mean, and pizza. So I'm not a model of fucking health.
I mean,
plus I have some other issues.
I will say, I know what most of your diet consists of. You at least cover most of the food groups.
Yes.
Especially if you consider cock as a food group.
I don't know what you speak of.
Chicken wraps, chicken sandwiches.
Oh, actually, the rooster, the cock.
Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you about that shit. Christmas Eve. Did I tell you about that shit? Driving through, I was rushing home because I got off work over a half hour late. Called better half. Her brother picks up. He was like, "Oh, you got off 34 minutes ago. Where are you?" I was like, "I'm actually just pulling out of the parking lot." He's like, "Oh, we're fucking running late anyway. It's fine." I was like, "I should be there within the hour, or very shortly after." So I'm going through, and I'm coming down through old Hamiltucky, and pull up, and the line's working its way because the train is now passed, but there's the line. And I see some people on the corner just like looking, some young kids, and they're like, "Hi," and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" There's a goddamn rooster just walking around in the middle of the street, and like as cars go by, and he's like, "Wah!" And I was like, "I'll run you over, rip your guts out through your asshole, and make you into a cutlet, you fucking piece of shit. Don't you come at my fucking BBC, my big black Camry, and fucking try to bulldoze your way into what I'm doing. I've got shit to do. You're a goddamn cock."
Literally.
Both literally and physically.
I wonder if this
fuck that chicken.
over by you, the railroad track?
No.
Where at?
Right down here by Minix.
Okay, yeah.
Like between Minix and Das.
There is a rooster somewhere because I've heard it in the
morning. Dude, he was just walking around strutting his fucking tits off.
I'm like,
looking at cars, acting like he's bad. I'm like, I swear to God, walk up on me. I'll open my door aggressively, and you're done for. Guess what? I got dinner for the next 2 days.
In the midst of my COVID, the dog still had to be let out, so that was the extent of my
bitch. I will kill you and sell you to the Chinese restaurant next to my job.
The dog went out about 6:30 in the morning. Like
gross.
Both days.
That hour is that hour that time of day.
Well,
is
that's
just
about
disgusting.
what time I get up anyway. So I let the dog out. I'm like, okay, I hear a fucking rooster. I live in the city. This is not country. I live in crack central city.
And it's not that kind of city.
Right. No.
You know what I mean? Like there are people in cities that have chicken coops and shit like that, but not, I mean, I guess around here, but not on that side of town.
Township wise, like Westchester.
Not in that part of town. Yeah, there's barely enough yard space for that shit.
But here, no. This is the city. 2 miles down the road that way, maybe. But it was coming from the other way down by where you saw it. I'm like, what in the who would have? I would shoot somebody if my neighbor had.
I wouldn't even be worried about that. I'd be worried about some fucking dope fiend trying to steal my chickens and fuck them.
Well, that's very possible.
Be like, what happened to dinner? Well, unless you want to have stuffed cock tonight, what's it stuffed with? Fucking cock. Old Jerry down the street just whipped it out and started going to town on Sir Crows a lot. I don't fucking know. Insert stupid fucking name for a chicken. Mr. Clucksworth. I don't know.
But
Sebastian Bach.
All right. Enough about cocks.
There's never enough about cocks.
The furry kind. Before we get
his last name means owner of cock.
Whose last name?
I don't know. Not yours, which clearly the wrong person has that name. Or whoever has that goddamn chicken that was strutting around. What the fuck? I'm driving. It's Christmas Eve. I'm like, you bitch, you better watch out. You're gonna end up on somebody's fucking table. You're gonna be right between the gift cards and the fucking shitty Family Dollar store toys and shit.
Yes.
Just you're gonna. That's what, if I had a chicken, that's what I would name it just after foods. Be like, this is my chicken cacciatore. This is my other chicken lemon pepper. This is this is my chicken parmesan. I don't know, fucking scallopini. Fried. And this is extra crispy. This is traditional. And then on the Popeyes side of the coop, we have regular and spicy. This is strips, tenders.
All right.
That one over there that's pecking the wall, he's a little slow. That's drumstick. We're not going to use all his meat. The closer you get to the head, the more foul and terrible the meat will be.
You ready to get into Raelism?
I fucking guess.
Let's go ahead.
We've had fucking almost 2 weeks. I've had almost 2 weeks without having a microphone in front of me.
Oh,
this is weird. Like,
real.
Not that I'm like we're like big name money making podcasters. It's weird. Like, I bullshit in ways on here that I don't get to do in normal life, or at least I don't anymore. Because I try to save it for on it. You're worried about me talking about chickens. You're over here doing fucking 8-year-old shit with your papers, trying to fucking do the thing where you can I'm gonna fucking put these 2 forks together and put them on top of this toothpick, and then if I light a candle under it, it spins like a fan.
See, this is the kind of shit. If you listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podbean, all
Amazon, fucking everything. I still can't believe how many applications we're on.
I know. You missed this. You miss it because you're not seeing it.
You're gonna miss this.
You could join us on YouTube and watch live and listen, because there is a different show. I do cuts the beginning out, most of the bullshit. But let's get into Raelism. Now, Raelism,
rail me, Phil.
We're getting railed. Is a UFO religion that was founded in the early 70s, I believe 74, 75.
It doesn't fucking matter.
In France, I can't even speak English.
Formerly known as Francia.
And you want me to fucking say this name?
I got it.
A Frenchman, Claude
Vorihon. Vorihon.
Yes.
Vanderhorn.
Yes. Now Claude.
Who was that? Is that the twins that Mark Zuckerberg had to go to fucking court with? I think it was.
Don't even get me started on that.
Claude Van Exel, Nick's cousin, the basketball player.
For you UC fans.
Different skin color, but marriage, love is love.
Yes. Now Claude was a Renaissance man.
Go on.
Claude, not only did he found his own religion, but before that, he was a race car driver.
Yes, he was.
He was a poet.
He was of not very high repute, might we add.
He was a songwriter.
Also, never heard any of his shit.
Apparently somewhat of a performer. I
wouldn't
say pop star, but he was very into the spotlight. He liked the spotlight.
The guy that started a religion.
Yes.
Which, while we're on the topic,
go ahead.
This brings me back to why it was poorly named.
Raelism?
Yes.
Okay.
He was a race car driver.
Right.
He should have made a race car driver religion, and he should have said, "Fuck it, I'm changing the game. Come over here and learn the words of our people and get down with the new religion of racism."
You are such a fuck.
It's an opportunity missed. Jay Moore, I think it was Jay Moore. It wasn't Jay Moore. Whatever his fucking name is from Clerks 2, he took it back. I'm not going to say what he took back on the podcast because it's super racist. Clearly, you've never seen the movie.
We'll get into this. Raelism is trying to take some shit back. We'll get into it.
And I do think they have some racist undertones. But seriously, you're a race car driver that starts a religion and you're not going to call it racism with an E? Just to be like, I thought it would be kind of funny and we would take it back. I don't know why he sounds German. We were going to start a new religion and we thought it would be funny if we made the race car religion, so it's racism.
Okay, but the group was formalized as the International Raelian Movement, IRM, or the Raelian Church. Now, that makes sense, Raelian, with being a UFO religion.
Right.
Now, old Claude boy.
Like, they try to tell you that it's not like a jokey way of saying real aliens.
Well, no, yeah, but this is a blatant ripoff. But all religions are ripoffs.
Yeah.
And listening to some podcasts and the research I did in my vast delusion, so I don't know how much is real. Maybe I dreamed some of this shit. But, it's hallucinations are a part of COVID, apparently.
Right.
But
that's what caused my hallucinations in high school.
Yes, it wasn't the LSD. Where was I going with this?
In high school, it was COVID 08.
2.0.
Y2 COVID.
Y2 COVID. But the what was I saying? He went to the mountain. Oh no, that's right. I was getting this is blatant ripoff. That's what I was talking about. But all religions are ripoffs.
Yeah, but instead of God, he talked to aliens.
Which a lot of this can be looked at as basically you look at the Bible, which Mormonism and a lot of other religions are the same thing.
Well, mind you, the name of the race, the master race of aliens, if you will, is mentioned in, I think the Torah.
And
the Elohim
is a Hebrew word.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the word for God, but Hebrew is a very hard language, apparently, to even translate.
A lot of phlegm.
It doesn't transcribe over very well. And that's why there's a lot of issues with the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Elohim is apparently plural. So gods
with a Z.
But naturally, that doesn't fit into the narrative of one God. So who knows?
Yahweh, it doesn't fit into monotheistic beliefs, so it's bad.
Which Yahweh is another word for God, which religious people use. Anybody who's watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Kalema. Snakes.
And
I hate snakes.
According to Raelism, Yahweh was one of the aliens.
Of course.
So, now, but the religion is basically you can take the Bible and just replace the words, God, angels, demons with alien.
And in the Da Vinci Code,
you have Raelism, basically. It doesn't discount everything the Bible or the only
but they also they portray themselves and talk about themselves and are in support of atheistic belief systems.
Right.
Like, okay, but you're atheistic, but you worship a god. It's just not a commonly known god.
But
it still falls under the umbrella of a theistic thought process.
A lot of what makes this interesting to me, this has a lot of ancient alien type.
It's literally like I'm pretty sure that the guy with the fucking the meme guy, I'm pretty sure he sucks off Rael, whatever the fuck.
Right. So there is something, and I've always found that interesting. If you listen to academia about
My Hero?
Yes. You
only nerds will get that.
You listen to academia about our distant relatives, our ancient ancestors, pre-Jesus and even during Jesus' time. You would think they were very primitive people. And it is very possible that if UFOs and aliens are real and they did visit back in that time, it is possible they would look at them as a god. You see it, right?
I mean, you see it all over the world to this day. Outside of Raelism, you see it in Aztec and Mayan scripture and like carvings. You see it in fucking Egyptian. Pretty much almost every ancient civilization, we have any type of, I don't know if you want to call it calligraphy or record keeping, has something that you can be like, that looks like a fucking spaceship, or that sounds like aliens.
And even look at some of the Renaissance paintings.
Yeah,
there is UFOs in some of those.
Yeah, there's UFOs in Da Vinci paintings, Michelangelo, all that shit.
There's no doubt they were seeing the UFO phenomenon was going on in our past.
Yeah, aliens were coming down and they were baroquing their world.
Now, but if you believe that our distant, the people of the past, especially pre-Jesus in modern concepts, they were pretty primitive. So you see something like that, you're naturally going to think they're gods. Kind of like Empire or Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks thought C-3PO was a god.
Yeah, but look at we're talking about buck-toothed teddy bears.
That's true. So I don't personally think our the ancient people were as primitive as what.
No, I agree.
We are led to believe here.
Yeah.
But if they were, I can see how they could see an UFO encounter and think it was either a god coming or an angel coming or what have you.
Yeah.
I don't personally prescribe to that. I think we were much more advanced or they were much more advanced and knowledgeable
Well,
than.
I think a lot of it is helped along by the fact that I don't think people really sit down and comprehend how long the Earth has been around, let alone the human species as we know it.
Right. I think
Like the fact that we are closer to, in years past, we are closer to Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the building of the Great Pyramids.
exactly. I mean, it's weird when you think about it. And I was thinking about this week or this past because I had a lot of time to sit by myself and think.
A lot of masturbation.
No, my arm hurt too, but I was too achy. Ruined my sex life.
That's why you like take it like you do like a Pringles can, and then you do like a sponge on each side with a latex glove inside of it, and you just kind of stick it between the couch cushions.
No, the COVID just
Good time.
fucked my sex life up. I said no. It not mine. It killed me.
It made it even lesser.
Phil died of COVID because he was trying to masturbate. Had a respiratory failure.
COVID-bation?
So, but where
He
was I?
died because he tried to commit a coronation.
So,
fuck you guys.
but there are, and reason I think I personally believe that our ancient ancestors were much more advanced than what.
Yeah, like even if they didn't have fucking iPads and shit,
right?
Like, everybody just thinks that everybody back in the day was just bumbling fucking idiots.
No, they weren't just a bunch of goat farmers. No, these were some advanced.
There were goat farmers.
Yes, but they
you know
were
what I mean.
advanced.
Like it's just like now, like not.
If you
There
look,
was I'm sure there was a Jeff Bezos of back in the day,
but
just ran all the spices and shit, and he was just out here like, I can get you your frankincense in 2 days if you sign up for $100 a year.
If you look at all these ancient structures, the pyramids, Machu Picchu or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
some of the design, even today, we would have issues trying
Yeah.
to build these things. Which
the pyramids alone,
with the mere size and the weight of the stones, we would have
Stonehenge,
issues lifting some of these stones.
Easter Island. Even though they kind of I think figured out the Easter Island heads. You see that shit? They theorized and they tested and found out you could do it. They think that they just walked them.
I mean,
like they stood them up and they just kind of shimmied them side to side, and basically walked them into place. Because some of those Easter Island heads, I believe, have bodies.
Yeah, they're like
that are
40
subterranean
feet under the ground, right?
Yeah, and they're like 100 tons. Like an insurmountable, what we would think is an immovable weight,
right,
at the time that they're carbon dated for.
But even some of the cuttings, I think it's Machu Picchu or whatever it's called. I pronounce it
Machu Picchu,
whatever it's called. Some of the cutting,
macadamia nut Pikachu.
Yes, some of the cutting in those carvings and fitting those things together. I'm a machine.
It's
I'm a
ridiculously
machinist.
exact.
I'm
They
a
are
machinist.
perfectly flush.
I'm a machinist. I use a CNC computer.
Yeah,
that does. I tell it what to do, and it does it. I have some more tolerance than what some of those things have. It's the furnace.
It gets me every time. It sounds like heavy rain when it first kicks on.
I mean, to say these crazy son bitches were just using chisels and a hammer,
right?
Go fuck yourself.
Right?
Eat my COVID encrusted dick.
Encrusted, huh? Not infected, encrusted.
Encrusted now.
So you have Corona schmegma.
Yes.
From Munda cheese.
Hey, I served my time. I'm out.
And now your dick's crusty, apparently.
Yes.
But no, I know what you're saying though, because there are, and it's not just Machu Picchu. There's other places where like two stones are cut so perfectly, they are perfectly flush that like water and air will not pass through them. You can't fucking do that.
I do not have that kind of.
If you have no technological know-how, you don't pull that off. You don't just pull that off. Like, there's no way. A hammer and chisel is an imperfect building method. There's no fucking way that you pull that off like that.
Unless you,
somewhere within there's gonna be a fucking a fuck up or a whoopsie somewhere, or even like the round, like some of the crystal skulls, quote unquote, and shit. Like they're made out of materials that, at the time they were made, as far as what we know for what they had at hand, there's no way that they shaped them.
Right.
Because they were either too hard or too soft to shape like that with what they would have had to fucking shape them.
And we've talked about this. So in past episodes, especially like the Sphinx, we know for a fact
it's massively, like, not massively, like,
it's much older,
ridiculously old compared to what we think it is,
even than the pyramids. Just
Yeah.
for the mere fact, at the base, there's water erosion from a time when Egypt was not a desert.
Yeah.
And we know that it actually was a rainforest at once, or tropical, I should say, whatever.
And it doesn't have a fucking nose.
Well,
Can't trust anything without
Napoleon,
a nose.
I think, shot that off.
You can't trust anything without a nose. The Sphinx, Voldemort from Harry Potter. I don't really know anything else without a nose, but those are two pretty untrustable things. You got a big fucking lion man in the desert.
Asian co-host.
I have a nose. It's just very small and petite.
All right. Anyway, where was I at? So I think that I've always was fascinated by the ancient alien concept that, maybe, and I've had this conversation with my mother who's on the live stream.
She forgot.
I know.
Just like your birthday. God damn it.
She did not forget my birthday.
And I was just trying to cause drama.
Drama. She did not forget my birthday. My birthday was forgotten by somebody, but I will not.
I said happy birthday.
No, you did.
Tyler.
But there is something to the fact that maybe we don't know what God is, if you believe in a God.
But as far as I'm concerned, the real question here is, what if God was one of us? Just a slob, like one of us. What if he was just a stranger on the bus, trying to find his way home?
Who's saying that? Who was that?
I don't fucking know. It's funny though. Oh Lord, happy! He said happy late birthday. Excellent.
But there,
so somebody asked what the logo on my sweatshop or on my sweatshirt is. It's a smoke shop in the general area. Hence, you can't see it, but it says smoke shop. It's just very small. Like
I look at religion and I look at God like I look at the paranormal.
See, I like to picture my Jesus, my God, as like the front man for an angel band, and they sing Leonard Skinner. I like to picture my Jesus wearing a tuxedo T-shirt because it says, "I want to be formal, but I'm here to party." And then you got the little kids. He's like, "I like to picture Jesus as a samurai fighting off evil ninjas, or a ninja fighting evil samurai."
But I'm trying to keep this on the rails, but it's
what is wrong with these children? I love the way they talk to you, Chip, because they're winners.
But it is we do not know what paranormal is, but there's something out there. There's something causing all these, and I'm sure science does have an answer to it that we just don't know about yet.
That was very insightful, Mulder. Thank you.
Thank you. I think religion and God or creator, our grand architect, whatever you want to call it, something's, I
think it's Star-Lord's dad from Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Go ahead. I got it.
I think that is we don't know what it is. And for people to say it could be a spiritual being, it could be an energy, which I've expressed on this podcast several times. God is an energy. Or it could be an alien interpreted as a god. I don't know.
I'm not even going to get into it. I don't know what's going on.
So we don't know. And whenever somebody says the words, "I know this to be true," or "this is how it is," I immediately call bullshit. You do not know. You're making an educated guess. Just like how the pyramids were made. Nobody fucking knows because nobody living today lived back then when they made them.
Yeah, because religion's like that and shit. And you know what else is like that? People who commit sexual assault, verbal abuse, physical abuse, all those things. This is what it is, and it's because I say so, and you will not question it. They're different, but still same.
Who knows?
That is the taste of cold, refreshing Coca-Cola, also known as the taste of freedom here in the United States. Get down or lay down, you bitches.
So I do not know. Raelism or Scientology, whatever, any UFO type religion,
they have a lot of similarities.
It is very.
What about Pastafarianism?
I don't know anything about Rastafarianism.
No,
Oh,
Pastafarianism.
Pastafari. Is that?
It's a real thing.
Oh, okay. And I know there's more realism in Scientology. Don't have the market share of UFO religions. There are others.
Yeah, one's like Osho or something like that.
Ocho
That is
Cinco?
very much similar to Raelism.
Right.
Once we, now that we're almost 45 minutes in, once we actually get to the meat and potatoes
Yeah.
of old Raelism. Again, I stand by it though.
It's-
It would have been better if it was he drove race cars. How is it not racism?
I don't know.
You fucking idiot.
We'll call him up and ask him.
There was already a word in the dictionary. You could have called it's racism. Why is it racism? Racism is bad. No. Your racism is bad. I'm a race car driver and I made a fucking religion for race car drivers. It's racism with an E. Racism.
Get through like really fast, take corners really hard.
We are racerists.
Yes. Okay. So anyway,
We'll also touch on. I'm assuming you touch on their slightly racist.
We'll get to that
jargon that they also have.
You mean the logos?
Also, yes, but there's also another one.
I have a point I want to make on that. I'm kind of tired of all that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
I find it hilarious. Not to make. We'll get to it, but I'm not making light of some of the symbolism. But
apparently, old Claude, the founder of Raelism, went up to the mountaintop like Moses, and the aliens came to him. The Elohim came to him.
And he worships aliens. He's Jean-Claude Van. Damn it, Jim. So that's another one for people older than me because I'm too young for that one too.
So he comes down, and what does he do? Like any good prophet, Moses did it, I guess.
Finds a way to make money and not pay taxes.
Moses came down with the commandments, chiseled onto some stone. He decided to write a book. And he wrote, I guess there are 3 books from what I can tell, that
the messages
of Raelism. Now,
hell yeah, brother.
Fire her up. I'm glad he was a race car driver.
He was a racist.
And not a very good artist or songwriter.
Considering that I didn't hear any like gleaming fucking notes from any of his career paths before that, I would assume he sucked at fucking everything he tried before he was a religious icon.
Because the naming of these books
is fucking awful. It's very on the nose. I'll give him that. You don't question what he's talking about.
There's no what's that called? What clickbait shit? No, it's to the point. A little boring.
Right. It's like if they called 50 Shades instead of 50 Shades of Grey, it's like sexual assault, but she likes it.
Exactly.
But that would be canceled by rape culture, rightfully so. But it's on the nose.
But in 1974,
or instead of 50 Shades of Grey, like a Handmaid's Tale without the super dark connotation of the forced. Have you ever seen Handmaid's Tale? God, that show is fucked.
No, I thought about watching it.
It's a good show, but it is fucked up
because it's got what's her name in it. At least it used. She was in one season from Chuck.
I've never seen Chuck.
And she was in the latter seasons of Dexter, the serial killer, the blonde.
I think you're talking about the main character. I don't know her name.
Don't think. No, she's not the main. Not the one that was on Mad Men.
Oh, okay.
I know she was in
Mad Men. I have watched. Mad Men was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
About to start watching 2 Weeks to Live. It's got Arya Stark.
You know what I watched twice on my COVID break?
My ass popping on a bowl of Fruit Loops.
No. What's the one movie we always talk about on the show?
Tombstone?
Yep.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I really connected with Malcolm.
You're telling me you didn't watch Wellington Paranormal?
I couldn't remember the name. I was going to
search. Dude,
I went back again.
I went back and watched an episode of it the other night. It's so fucking. If anybody hasn't watched Wellington Paranormal on HBO, it's so stupidly funny.
In my COVID state, I really connected and bonded with
Doc Holliday.
Because if you would have texted me at the right time, I would have said, "If you ever cared about me, just leave." But anyway, getting back.
Go ahead. I'm just trying to figure out which one of those cars that is.
Where was I? But he wrote 1974, the book which tells the truth. Classic title. Now, It sounds much better in French, but I'm not going to.
Doesn't everything?
I'm not going to try and say that in French, but I basically translate the book which tells the truth. Then in 1975,
The book which the much awaited release from Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jim. The book that tells the truth.
And then followed up by the sequel, Extraterrestrials Took Me to Their Planet.
Yeah.
And then we can't have.
That's the Miata.
We can't have. We got to have the third chapter of this, welcoming the extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
I mean,
very on the nose. I mean, you don't question what he's talking about. Now, it would be interesting if we got our hands on these books and it was like the book that tells the truth. It was like, add 1 cup water to 2 cups flour, then knead gently until fluffy. Leave set overnight.
Yes. So
bring your tomatoes to a boil.
So basically, what the
pardon my sniffles. I don't have COVID. Fuck you guys.
And I have super antibodies.
Now. It's like I said, I would have been over this fucking head cold, but it dropped down to fucking like negative Beelzebub dick degrees the other night, and it's been staying there. Yep. And I'm stupid, and I like to hit snooze when I have to go to work. So I get to the point where I'm like, well, I want to smoke a cigarette because I'm up now, but I need to start my car. But it's windy, so I guess I'll just sit in my cold car while it heats up and smoke cigarettes.
Yes. It sucks. Isn't it supposed to snow tonight or tomorrow?
I don't know. I know it's supposed to be a high of like mid-20s on Friday.
Fuck that.
I'm just like, why didn't we do this 2 months ago? I would have been fine. Like, just once it's fucking winter, be fucking winter. You know who wouldn't allow this to happen? You know who would change things around this bullshit fucking cockamamie fucking...
The Elohim?
Yes.
Yahweh?
Yes. Fucking Paul from the movie Paul, the alien movie with fucking... Simon Pegg and Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead. Any fucking alien worth their salt would come down here and be like, listen here, where's Jack Frost? I'm gonna rip your dick off, shove it up your ass, and then beat you to death. This is horse shit. These good shitty fucking humans that destroy this planet don't deserve your horse shit. Either make it 70 degrees all the time with a nice little breeze, or go fuck yourself.
All right. So basically, he wrote these books. The Elohim took him to their planet. But basically what it is, the Elohim have basically created us. We are a science experiment. Or
I know, I love how every major religion still comes back to creationism in one way or the other.
Yes. Now, they totally disavow evolution. They totally think evolution's a crock of shit. And
they also think that the planet's only been around for 20,000 years.
25,000 years. Well, what does Christianity think? 6,000?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, all of them are fucking bullshit. One of their gods might be real. I don't fucking know. But your mathematics is fucking not, sir.
But basically,
you're telling me the fact that they try to say that either dinosaurs never existed or that we walked the earth with... Are you fucking shitting me? You think if we walked the earth with fucking dinosaurs, we'd still fucking be here? No, we'd be very low on the totem pole because we'd be like, oh, what are we going to eat tonight? Well, fucking Flarg over there got bit by one of those pit bull sized mosquitoes, so he's down for the count. Oh, is it really itchy? No, it's fucking pit bull sized, Karen. It stabbed him through the goddamn abdominal cavity. He's fucking dead. So is everybody else. It's just you and me. So let's either make babies and try to repopulate, or let's just fucking kill something and eat ourselves to death, because that's what's going to happen anyway. There's a fucking Velociraptor X out there, some goddamn fucking like Swamp Thing mutant science experiment that the aliens came and made with. They took a Stegosaurus, a Triceratops, a fucking T-Rex, a Spinosaurus, and an Ichthyosaur, and they just made the whatever the fuck they called that thing from the Lost World, Indominus Rex, that fucking shit show. Hey guys, what do we want to do at Jurassic Park? Let's do some more genetic engineering and let's make a super aggressive, super intelligent, fucking carnivorous dinosaur that's the biggest theropod that's ever been, bigger than T-Rex and bigger than Spinosaurus. Oh wait, what else are we gonna do, Jim? Let's fucking give it camouflage, Terry. Thanks, guys. Good job. A+ on your assignment. Let's go fuck off and die.
That is some human shit. We would do that shit, though.
That's literally what happened in the movie. They made the biggest, most aggressive and intelligent bipedal carnivorous fucking camouflage dinosaur. Good job, guys. Yo, we didn't want to try a new fucking experiment where we turned white rats orange. We wanted to do that. We weren't trying to like grow fucking food for the starving people. We wanted to make something to eat all the people, including the starving ones.
Yes.
He's going to eat the normal ones, and then he's going to use the starving ones as toothpicks.
Yes, I agree.
Fucking idiots.
The timeline's all fucked up with all religions.
God damn you, whatever that English version of Colonel Sanders looking fuck was from the first one. You see what you did? You and Father Mikado from HBO's Oz that was in his lab in the first Jurassic Park. I watched it not too long ago. I was like, oh shit, that's Father Mikado from Oz.
I never watched Oz, but apparently
you should. Other than the dicks, because it's a prison show.
That explains why you like
it. I mean, duh. You can, but like it. I suggest that show to everybody. It keeps you involved because it's prison. It's just shiesty shit all the time.
I can't disagree. Maybe I'll watch it.
It's shiesty shit.
Next time I get COVID, I've watched Yellowstone.
I'm gonna start watching that. It is mostly because I've heard it's good, but I want to watch 1883. The prequel.
Yeah, and it's because it's on Paramount Plus.
You can have my Paramount Plus. I think I can. I have to look and see how many people I can have on there, which I don't give a fuck. I mean, you and me can trade off because I rarely use it anyway.
But so
this podcast brought to you by Paramount Plus. Not really, they don't sponsor us, but they have some really good shit. Watch the new Clifford. It made me almost cry.
That was my marathon session that I got into that.
I started Game of Thrones with better half.
Good.
She's into it.
Of course, dragons and boobies.
I don't know which one it is, but one of the spinoffs is coming soon. Because I saw an HBO Max commercial and it was on there.
Yes, it's a prequel. I think it's about
the First Men.
Oh, I thought it was about the I forget the fucking
the Targaryens.
Targaryens.
Oh, is it? I thought the prequel was supposed to be about the First Men.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know, but I am. On a second note, I'm gonna start watching 2 Weeks to Live. I think it's called. It's got the girl that played Arya Stark. It's like her mom like raised her out in the woods, like apocalyptic fears and this and that. And then she goes out and like they show her like drinking with guys, and then the next thing you see is her like assassinating the guy that I guess killed her dad or some shit.
Sweet.
Pulling guns on like DoorDash guys.
DoorDash.
I was like, yeah, I was like, sweet. I'll watch that. That's right up my alley.
All right. So basically, the Elohim decided to create man, and they
fucked up there.
Basically, what they did, they made Elohim, as all creators would do. The angels did it as well. If you look at the Book of Enoch, the angels thought we were beautiful.
The biggest argument starter with fucking Christians and Catholics.
But the angels or heavenly entities decided to mate with us humans because apparently we are just hot as shit, at least the females versions of us.
That's always been my thing too, like this creationism thing. I'm assuming, okay, so barring God, because apparently God just like on his own and was like, he's got, here's my thing. Why is God is like Genie from Aladdin? Are you telling me he just like out of nowhere and he was like, hey, oh, Prince Ali, something about Pepsi. And like fucking is just like humans, cars, technology, birds, deer, fuck your mom. Like, where did God come from? Or he's just been sitting there waiting. He's been sitting there in that like suggestive porn star pose in the middle of space waiting until he was like, yeah, I think I'll make some stuff now. So that being said,
I don't know.
My whole point is with this whole creationism thing is like nothing starts with one, first off, unless you're talking about an organism. And even then, still don't understand the science behind that, behind amoebas just becoming a thing. We'll never know. We're all made of stars. But who the fuck in the Elohim saw what who saw what Yahweh made, if Yahweh's the one that made us or whatever, and didn't go, what the fuck did you do?
Well, apparently,
look at these useless assholes. You better give them some fucking technology here, because their soft little bodies and their shitty little bite pressure and their pussy ass teeth and their no claw having asses are fucked if you don't. You should have fuck them. We are taking the bears under our wing. The bears will be our people on Earth.
I have an answer. Raelism has an answer.
Of course it does.
apparently,
does it have to do with race cars?
This is no race
Poetry, songwriting.
No.
Oh, so nothing else that this asshole doesn't have an expertise in. And let's also talk about the fact, you know, my biggest problem with this is his mixture of religion.
Well, that's all religion.
Of like, so he's French. He's a fucking race car driver, poet. Now he's a UFO religion leader. All of this is being read from his mind. It's all been said to him, so he knows everything. And then the fucking guy, he's a white French dude that looks like a converted Anglo-Saxon Muslim. He has the Muslim beard, the traditional like Middle Eastern Muslim beard, where it's just the strap, the Khabib Nurmagomedov, and where's the, I think they call him a kofi, the like knit scully, if you will, not to be disrespectful to the Muslim religion, but I think it's called a kofi. It's like a knit skull cap, kind of like a double XL yarmulke, if you will.
Okay.
That's the picture I saw of him. I'm like, dude, fucking pick one. Jesus Christ. You're just going to be like, I do whatever the fuck I want. I'm French. Fuck you. I'm a race car driver. I like aliens.
But apparently, where the fuck was I? The Elohim made us and some other.
It's fucking hot in here.
Well, you're just wound up, tired of.
I've also drank. I haven't drank that much.
But apparently, another alien race made the Elohim. It's just a repeating cycle. Now, where did it start? Who knows?
See, I will give it that. Once I found that out, I was like, okay, so at least you have a not a hierarchy, but you've got a chain, if you will. It's not just like I said, that's always been one of my biggest problems. Like, I believe in the Almighty God. There's nothing on where he came from. So it's like I said, he's just been sitting back, cooling, shooting some b-ball outside of the school, and then a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in his neighborhood.
Oh, we are so gone to hell.
It's like the 13th movie and TV reference we've made.
But apparently, like most good alien creators, they decided to mix themselves, their DNA with our DNA, and created the prophets.
Which really pisses me off, because as much as this religion, if you want to call it that, pisses me off, that's one of the things, that's one of the creation, like not creation, the evolutionary conspiracies that I can actually wrap my head around.
Which
is, we, like, everybody's like, I didn't come from monkeys. Yes, you did, Jethro, in some way, shape, or form. I would be surprised. Everybody would be shocked, but like, my asshole wouldn't fall out of my body if somebody was like, yeah, we now know that some alien life form crossbred with an early crude primate, and it ended up leading to us.
That's some human shit. That's because, you know, humans pretty much fuck anything.
It's believable as anything.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean? Like, it's just as believable as evolution. It's more believable than fucking creationism, in my personal opinion.
There is, if you believe in evolution, there is a big jump.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speculation why there is a big jump.
Well, in like a lot of people that don't look into it too, as far as the science behind it and the science chronologically, is a lot of people don't, they're like, I didn't come from monkeys. I didn't come from this. They don't take into account that speciation has been the same forever. There's never just one of one thing. Like, we were on the planet with Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthal and even Gigantopithecus, which is what everybody thinks Bigfoot is.
Right.
Like, all of these things. So there's many bipedal hominid-esque primates inhabiting the planet at the same time.
All right.
That's where you get the survival of the fittest thing. In our personal luck, is it wasn't survival of the fittest. It just happened to be survival of the smartest.
And we like to fuck.
And where was the bridge of intellectual capacity, and also something changed somewhere where our brains have a considerably larger space for brain matter, period.
Right. Now, whether something caused this all to happen, something caused that to happen. Now, whether it was intelligent design or fluke, I don't know. I don't. But
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be just some big bearded guy up in the sky, and he's just been like thousands of years ago. He was just sitting there with like fucking Play-Doh, like pushing hair, like I'm gonna make this lady blonde, and he pushes the thing down, and the Play-Doh comes out, and he's like, and then some other fucking like Vishnu's like in another galaxy comes out, like, oh, what are you doing, God? Oh, that's cool. I like your little figurines. He's like, thanks. It's got pockets. And he's just like, there you go. You're French. Go to France. Oh, you're Indian. You go to India. You're in Antarctica. Oh, no. That's where the hole to the fucking center of the earth's going to go. We can't put you there. You're an Inuit. Have fun being cold, stupid.
You lost that lottery. Speaking of lottery, we're going to play the fucking lottery.
Do you know they have a lottery for polar bears?
Oh, I don't want to hear about polar bears. In my COVID vacation, I saw that commercial. Apparently, polar ice caps are fucking melting, and the poor fucking killer polar bears, the cute little polar bears, are dying. I don't care.
It's the way the world works. Like, it's sad.
If I saw that
it's sad, but like it's the world doing what the world does.
In the midst of
my kids might not see polar bears, but my kids also aren't going to see Archaeopteryx, Velociraptor, Gigantopithecus, mastodons, megalodons. I'm going to
beg to differ with Gigantopithecus.
Okay, well, they're not going to see megalodons. They're not going to see fucking thylacines. That's what happens in the world. It's sad. Yeah, I would have loved to see all these cool creatures, but like the world just gets rid of shit. It just goes.
I don't really care about the polar bears. I don't care.
I don't know. I think it's cool that they have like a lottery. They give so many tickets to hunt polar bears to First Nations people in Canada and Antarctica, Alaska, because they're like, we have our laws and we've conquered this land, but like, I guess it's their way of being like, we're not going to step totally in front of your tradition. It's just like how
I'm just saying
how they can shoot, like a native person in Alaska can shoot a seal. Like I saw it on Life Below Zero. There's a white guy who's married to a Inuit. I don't know what to call her. And like he sees seals and he was like, oh, I'm going to go back, and he gets her and their kids or their daughter, and they go kill it because he can't kill it. They can.
I'm just
because who the fuck are white people to stand in the way of tens of thousands of years of fucking living?
I'm just saying, the sweet little polar bears, if you see one, you're
run.
Fucked. You're fucked.
That's the problem. You're not going to see it until it's too late.
You're screwed.
They literally have evolved to cover their noses while they hunt because they're black. They have. They cover their noses with their paws because it's noticeable. So
they are killers.
Yeah, they're also like 12 feet tall.
They're not going to get on a sled with you and go sled riding.
I hate the people who are like, grizzly bear's biggest bear. No, the fuck it isn't, Jethro. Get off your dick hole.
Grizzly bears like Bradley Williams. The small
I mean, they're still, I mean, they're not massively smaller than a polar bear, but a polar bear is noticeably bigger.
I'm just
also just built different in general.
Let's just say you see a regular brown bear or black bear. They will fuck you up.
Yeah. Well, black bear will probably run if you're lucky, but it could.
Unless it's a mama by its cub.
It could fuck you up.
A grizzly bear is going to fuck you up even more.
Oh, yeah. Grizzly bear is going to like tear your insides out from your butthole.
But a polar bear? No.
Those are bad. Those are killing machines. They smell seals through the ice.
A polar bear,
and then you can see them. They'll sit there and jump on their front feet and just fucking cave the ice in wherever they smell one, and just sit and wait for it to pop its head up for air.
I mean, a polar bear is the bear that the grizzly bear goes, oh, we're out of here.
There's a reason why grizzly bears don't live in polar bear territory.
Yes. So
it's just like the great Brian Callen said to Will Sasso, or said to one of their friends, because he said he could beat Will Sasso. You know Will Sasso, yes. Brian Callen. He said he could beat Will in a fight if they gave him like a year. He gained this much weight, and I guess I heard him tell this whole story about how Brian like keyed him a whole thing, and like just the overwhelming story of it that he was trying to tell their friend. I think it was Chad Colchin. He was like his words were, a dog ain't hearing it, or a dog ain't beating a bear, and a silverback ain't hearing a peep out of a chimp. That shout out to the Fighter and the Kid and Brian Callen and Will Sasso. They don't need our shout outs because they're fucking massive, but that is a perfect representation of a polar bear compared to all of our stupid, soft, like just waiting to be myrtleized and eaten assholes.
Right. I'm just
literally saying, our assholes, because most predators start from the asshole.
Yes. I'm just saying.
Hot.
My point was I was tired of that fucking commercial.
Go on.
Okay,
Raelism.
We went off some good tangents tonight. Damn it.
I'm enjoying. Dude, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
Well, no,
longer. Well, no, it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks today. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you.
Because I haven't seen you since the party.
Yeah. The COVID infested party.
Just the two of us.
Okay, where was I at?
Leaving babies in the guys.
Dude, I'm only right here on the notes. And we're an hour into this. Okay, where am I? The Elohim made a hybrid of human and them, which that's what a hybrid is, and created the prophets. Now, I believe there was 40 of them, and you might have heard of some of these people.
It's funny how churches are good at creating prophets.
Among these prophets that were created by the Elohim, they were hybrids, was the Buddha, Jesus, or as you Christians like to call Jesus, Muhammad,
the fucking sandal wearing hippie,
Muhammad,
he who shall not be depicted,
and then Rael. Oh, I forgot to mention, Claude changed his name to Rael.
Is it Rael or Rael?
I don't know. I'm saying
because it's got the fucking
umfup.
Is that what it is?
I
knew it was something.
In the German language, that's an umlaut.
Umlauf.
But I don't know what it's called in French. I'm calling it Rael.
Rail me, daddy.
But he changed his name to Rael because he was the final prophet.
Of course he was. You fucking cockmonger piece of shit. I hate him.
Yes, he was.
For his good vibe, and we will get to that. I will say, when we get into all this nitty gritty, whatever the fuck, they are pretty, from what I understand, there's a lot of people who have been with them for a long time have horror stories. Not horror stories, but they don't have the best things to say.
Let's face it.
But
all religions are like that.
They do, yeah. But like from the people that I've seen that have left them and spent a long time under his tutelage, if you will, don't usually have the best thing to say. But as people that went to check it out or spent a short period of time seem pretty like there wasn't anything forcibly done to us or pushed on us, and everybody was pretty agreeable for the most part. But we'll get into that.
I mean, this is a very benign religion.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're done with that for the night.
We've talked about cults.
Perfect.
I get listening to some of these podcasts, especially when I do research about these. Like one woke ass podcast I listened to, fucking pissed me. Had my
woke as fuck, brah.
Well, they're so fucking stupid. They're so hypocritical. It's not even funny.
Who?
This podcast. I will not.
No.
I will not mention the name, but they were saying how this is.
Because as much as you might not like them, they're probably big enough to absolutely crush us.
I don't think so.
I wish you could look up the numbers for other shows.
I'm sure there's a way, but I don't really give a fuck.
I'll find it.
I don't really give a fuck.
I'll find it just like I find all the legal age celebrity nudes.
But, they want to say this is a cult. In the hypocrisy in that, all religions are a cult. Christianity is just a big fucking cult.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about that today because I was listening to a podcast that I had you listen to. It. Shout out. What is it? Oh no, Ross and
something.
Carrie,
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, Ross and Carrie, I believe is the name of it.
Which are way
really interesting.
Dedicated to their jobs.
They are, but it makes for great fucking amazing shit. They legitimately go like they firsthand experience this stuff. They went into Raelism. They went into the Mormon, the Church of Latter-day Saints. Yes, to the extremist form.
I just want to talk shit. I'm not.
I really enjoyed listening to them, but like listening to them, it does. As far as the stuff we know as cults now, because I do agree with you as far as religions being culty.
They're all.
But like this one, it does show it has culty sprinklings, But I haven't heard any of the forcible, like forcing their will or their ideals on people in a culty way. But I do agree, because what I was saying is I was listening to that today at work, and I told young Cal, I was like, dude, this is what scares me with stuff like this, is because it does have culty vibes in one way in certain places, but it's so laid back and so accepting, it seems like,
right, yeah,
that this is the type of thing that's going to become the next major religion. Because it has followers and it's going to continue to get followers, and nobody's going to say anything against it to the point that it's going to shut it down.
Which
is how religion is formed.
And then it'll have a run like Christianity. If that's the case, if that happens, it'll have a run like Christianity. Then guess what?
We just have another religion to
it'll
do within
run its
1,000 years.
Just like Christianity theoretically has run its course because they get greedy
with
their.
Yeah, fuck you, Joel Osteen.
Oh, fuck him.
Don't think I forgot about you.
Now,
Richard Gere, Matthew McConaughey crossbreed.
Raelist.
We gotta clip that out too. I want that clip.
Okay. Raelist. They do have some hokey shit that is a little bit questionable.
And they also have a lot of douchey shit.
Now, they are being a UFO type religion.
The fact that that's a thing.
So they are a little bit more open to science. That is a scientific type thing. Now, they're not right about a lot of shit.
Shocker. That's how being a human being works.
They are more open to the sciences, and they these Elohim have not really presented themselves to us en masse, just for the mere fact they're waiting for us to become more technologically advanced. Now, it started with, and this is where things,
which is, as far as the ones that I've dove into and researched, is the only religion that I know of that is waiting for that.
Right. Now,
not enlightenment or for us to just fuck everything up and let the devil take over. They're waiting. We're on the iPhone 13. They're looking for like an iPhone 65.
Right. But what got us
They're looking for that Google microchip that goes in your eyeball that you can just be like, what is that?
Hey, it's Rael. He's racing a car.
That is a farm equipment that, I don't know, fucking does this thing. How'd you know that? My eyeball microchip popped it up in my peripheral visions.
Now, what got us on their map, which is kind of interesting, is, but I do have a problem with it. The Raelists believe that we got on their map, or the Elohim started to acknowledge us a little bit more because of the Hiroshima bomb that was dropped in 45 or 46?
45.
45. Was it?
It's the end of the war.
Yeah, that's right, 45, yeah. I watched Pearl Harbor too.
Never forget.
I watched Pearl Harbor on my COVID vacation as well. I've watched a lot of shit.
Pearl Harbor, really? It was way too long.
Yeah, it's a little long.
It's a little breathy.
It's a little long. But
they could have cut it. They could have been 45 minutes.
Yeah,
all gas, no brakes.
All right.
And also take half of Ben Affleck's screen time.
Don't fuck with Ben. I like him much more than Josh Hartnett or whatever.
I like Josh Hartnett.
Fuck that tool.
He plays a good heartthrobby character.
Yeah,
because he's got that like
he's kind of
Keanu Reeves mysterious look.
A bit of a whiny ass.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck ruined Batman. He can fuck off forever.
Oh, fuck you twice. He did not ruin Batman.
Who did?
Val Kilmer ruined Batman.
Val Kilmer was a better Batman than Ben Affleck. No. Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
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 I disagree. George Clooney.
No.
Was a better Batman than Ben Affleck. Honest.
Michael Keaton, Christian Bale.
Well, Christian Bale was the best Batman.
I think it's a close race between him and Keaton.
If it wasn't for Michael Keaton's "I'm smelling a fart" face in that one movie, maybe.
And then I'll go Affleck. Then you can throw Kilmer, then Clooney. Clooney was by far the worst.
Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Because I forgot what Nagasaki and Hiroshima was.
We dropped the bombs, damn it.
How dare someone feel the need to tell a Japanese American person the name of the 2 nuclear bombs that got dropped on them?
Okay, we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
Yeah.
That woke them up. That got their attention. It wasn't all the nuclear testing that we
Did they
did.
say why, or were they
No,
just sitting in space and they went, "Ooh, pretty"?
No, they're willing to kill people. So
They're
now,
just sitting there like, "That's a hell of a firework right there, goddamn ski!"
but the nuclear testing didn't get their attention. But
Right?
dropping it on
Like you're
a
the
city,
creators of
right?
this, but you didn't. You took until we set something off to
Which
fucking notice.
which is interesting.
You
'cause-
didn't pay attention to the fact that they were cutting twins apart and trying to see if their body parts would work on each other,
We'll get to that.
or freezing people to see if they're how to test or how to cure hypothermia. Or let's not forget about how the Japanese locked people in rooms and gave them nothing but seawater to see if they could make it fucking drinkable, to the point that they would come around once a week to mop the floors, and if they could get out of their restraints or anything, these people would get down on the floor and slurp the mop water off the floor because they were dehydrating them to see if they could make seawater drinkable. You didn't pay attention to any of that, but as soon as you see a boom boom, oh no 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 no,
But that shows
you can fuck each other up, but once you fuck each other up by the thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands at a time, now
You're in the big time.
the great Elohim must step in and fist you with our righteousness.
No, they think now we're ready to a certain extent because
For what?
we've reached that point.
Apparently, you're
nuclear power is the issue, or nuclear whatever is the official sign to the aliens we're ready, which makes it interesting because
that's coming from somebody who, like, I have no. I had this conversation because of Game of Thrones, because Better Half was like, "There's so much unnecessary killing." I'm like, "Welcome to the world."
Especially,
like, that's how the world works, and that's why, like, technology has just slowly become the downfall of man. The number one, there's two main things that have come from technology, as far as I'm concerned.
What?
It's not communication. It's none of that shit. It's tracking and controlling of the masses, and the ability to cause harm to the biggest number of people that you can possibly cause harm to in one fell swoop.
Well, think about
those are the two most important things that have happened from technology, as far as anybody who actually fucking matters is concerned.
Well, violence is a part of our nature.
Yeah.
We are freaking animals.
Mhm.
The only reason we probably aren't as violent as what we were back Middle Age or the Middle Ages, just for the mere fact of TV. You know, entertainment.
Just in general. Like, it's just
okay, where we live right now, you take say that solar flare pops off and
you take away TV, internet, all that shit
away, it'll be fucking chaos.
I say all the time, I'll be gone. You won't see me.
I'll be
out in the woods.
I'll be strapped.
I mean, I might have a gun on me, but I'll be out in the woods doing my thing. I'll go grab the old ball and chain, and anybody who wants to come with me, and I'll be out in the woods. And as far as what he said about the threatening of the nuclears, I don't, as a Japanese American, you've had this conversation with me. I make jokes about it, but I don't want to say I don't care that they dropped the nukes. The Japanese nation came over here, did what they did. They got themselves into some shit. My only dilemma and my only problem as a Japanese American with direct Japanese ties, like my grandmother came here within 10 years of the war, legally close that border. I'm just kidding. Build the wall. But my only problem with the nuclear war in World War II was
the atom bomb. Yeah.
Huh?
The atom bomb. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that one would have sufficed. I feel like if you would have dropped just one and like given them a day to think about it, they'd have been like,
"We got another one."
They'd be like, "Oh, Ichiro, what are the final number for Nagasaki? How many people? Holy shit! Somebody bring me the telephone. I called the president of the United States. I said, no, we're out. Fuck this shit. You can build as many a KFC and a McDonald's as you want. I don't care. You do whatever you want. Just leave us the electronics business."
Oh, we're.
McDonald's.
I'm glad you prefaced that by saying you are a Japanese American.
Oh, you fuckers are good.
I can't disagree with you though.
What are we going to do in retaliation, General? What the fuck are we going to do? To kill everybody. The whole fucking city. My great nephew, Suzuki Ichiro Nagasaki Toshiba, dead. His whole family dead. Everybody dead. Only thing that survived, Twinkie Factory. Only people still alive. They grow in the dark now. They're never gonna make it. We fucking throw in the tower, call it a day. We go to South Park, Colorado, build a shitty chicken and a shitty sushi.
Oh, we are so fucked. Anyway, I agree. I don't know. I can't. One, I would think one, but
Tyler said they made two and we didn't want to waste it. We were the only ones that we know for a fact had them at the time. I'm pretty sure we could have just sat on it and be like, "What, bitch?" Russia be like, "We don't like how you do things in Europe nowadays." They be like, "What? Hold on. Oh, we still got it? The fuck you say, pussy boy? You big Russian bear-looking piece of shit. What? Say the word." Somebody, I'm the president. I don't need to do minuscule tasks like this. Somebody come lift the flap on the big red button for me. What? Fuck you, Lenin. It wasn't Lenin at the time.
Stalin.
What's up? I'm talking like even after that. What's up, Mikhail Gorbachev? You big fucking raspberry on your face looking fuck.
They had nuclear weapons by that time.
I know that.
All right.
But if we had one 40 years before that, they should be like, oh shit, they have big head start. We are like what is James Bond? The PP7 they call it in the video game. Little guy. They're big dick Barrett 50 cal bomb. We not fuck with them. That's right. You sit your ass down and you send me more vodka before we open up a fucking company called Tito's and outsell your ass. Fuck you, Mr. Smirnoff. Eat a stack of dicks, Stolichnaya. I always thought somebody should make a cover of that, the original Ronnie James Dio Holy Diver song.
Yeah.
Stolichnaya! It burns so bad but goes down so clean.
Oh, fuck me. Where was I at? Okay. Raelists believe, now this is, getting back before we went on that fucking rant. It is interesting how.
Welcome to Ghost of the Night. This episode is 5 minutes of content and 2.5 hours of rants.
The alien and nuclear power connection.
Yeah.
Even since 40,
which just makes sense.
You know, there's always seems to be activity around nuclear.
Which I don't want to say it makes sense. It makes as much sense as anything else because where did those ideas come from? We went from not having fully automatic, like just getting to the point where we have Thompsons and shit like that, like fully automatic. Like if you think about the fact that within that 100-year period, we went from like muzzle loaders and flintlocks and shit like that to like revolvers, to repeater rifles, to semi-automatic handguns, semi-automatic rifles, Thompsons, which could be fully automatic. And then we make the jump to, now we can physically take molecules and separate them and combine them in ways that will make an insurmountable, uncontrollable amount of powerful, explosive destruction. And we just came up with that one on our own. Could it be true? Yes. It doesn't really make that much sense, though. I love how I go from being an absolute fucking idiot to making doing a Japanese accent for 10 minutes, and then I'm like, chemical mitosis. You see,
I think in an upcoming podcast we're going to do most haunted places of Japan, and I want you to do the entire episode
anywhere within 100 miles of the bombs dropping and the suicide forest. There you go.
But I want you to do the entire podcast in character.
Jacob Harada do the walk through the forest and find the body. He called a family. He said, "Your uncle dead. I put on the YouTube and the Vine. I'm now Japanese and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've gone from being an oppressed person that got the bomb dropped on him, and I'm now an Austrian immigrant." Yeah. I'm the governor of a state I cannot even say correctly. When you come to California and you finger diddle a Kardashian and walk away and your finger falls off because they're made of fucking nuclear waste.
All right. Okay. The Raelis.
All right. I'm going to try my best to stay on topic for the rest of this fucking podcast.
Fuck no, there wasn't that much information.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked we made it this far. We had to pull out all the stops for this one. Okay, Raelis.
I ain't never pulled out in my life.
Neither have I. That's why I have 2 kids. Yeah, sad but true. Okay.
Is that the only reason I'm happy about the bombs? I no have no kids no more. They're all shadows in my history and under the wars of Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Now, one interesting thing about the bomb is basically the Raelists believe the Elohim this issued us into the age of apocalypse, which showed we were getting more technology and more advancing with technology.
Do you think they'll ever get to the age of Aquarius?
I think, aren't we technically in the age of Aquarius now?
I don't know. Ask Jethro Tull.
I don't fucking know. The Elohim believe that humanity must learn a way to harness these new scientific technologies.
Because we won't destroy ourselves with that technology.
And technically develop for a peaceful purpose. Because of what humans do, whatever something powerful, we turn it into a fucking weapon.
Yes. Because it's human nature.
It's what we do.
It's a power move. Like everything we do is a dick swing.
COVID-19.
You heard it here first, folks, before we get
no, but that's what we do. But we need, and I think this is actually this is a good fucking concept. And even with tech, look at what we've done with social media. Look at that technology.
Yeah. It's massive. It's all, even people like us, like we don't social media, but we still social media.
But look at what it's done to,
like I made a TikTok for the show and you are now hooked on TikTok.
I love TikTok. I TikToked all week.
I bet.
Between Yellowstone,
I was thinking about that. I was watching TikToks just fucking off the other night. I was like, I bet you Phil has watched no less than 268 hours of TikTok.
I think I'm waiting for season 2 to come out. I think I went through all of TikTok. No, but where was I? What was I saying?
Show me your talk.
But look at social media, that technology we have. Mm-hmm. What is it doing to our society right now?
It's destroying it.
It is. We are turning to.
We think that we think that it's informing us, and all it is doing is informing us of what we personally want to hear, and the people like us want to hear, and then it's making us go, "Oh wait, you don't think that? Fucking you!"
I mean, it's
like that fucking. It's they use the sound on TikTok all the time of the, "Hey, what's your name? Ezekiel. Fuck you, Ezekiel. What's your name? Tony. Fuck you, Tony." Like he said, guess what I did last night? Don't you bring my mother into this. I built that fire over there. Oh, and then I fucked your mother next to it.
But that is what we do as humans. We take something which social media and the internet
is
probably the greatest advancement in connecting us.
Even though it is in the world of conspiracy theorism, in my world of conspiracy theorism, it is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
Right. The way we use it now. Yes, I agree.
But it was money, religion, weaponization of intelligence, and the opening of the technology of the internet and social media to the masses. Those are the 4 horsemen of the human apocalypse. I'm not saying the world's going to end and there's going to be a rapture, but those are going to be the 4 things that come together to just destroy what we know, as far as I'm concerned.
That is what's beautiful about people of my generation, the Gen Xers. You know, we remember a time pre-cell phone. I remember. I remember.
I don't, but I do. I remember before everybody had one.
Right.
Like I remember car phones and shit like that. And cell phones were a thing, but nobody fucking had them.
But they were the size of.
Yeah, nobody had them.
They were bigger than that.
Like my dad had a pager. Like my dad had a pager. You know what I mean? Right.
But I remember this time, and then.
Tink.
Being able to connect with people back in 1990. If you would, I would have looked 41 years and 42 years or 32 years. I'm sorry, I can't do math.
excuse me,
32 years in advance to be sitting in 1990 January. What are we? 4th.
I
4th.
would have invested in Motorola.
1990. If I was said in 32 years, I would be sitting with you talking to 15 people.
Tops. If you add them all up from beginning to end.
But across the world.
Right. Like the fact that I like that at some point in time we're going to do like a Skype thing with people in the UK.
Right.
And we're going to then be a part of their community of people, and we're going to bring them and make them a part of our community of people, and those community of people are going to then some way, shape, or form, even if it's just one person on each side, intermingle somehow, and that's going to then take that and grow it into something totally different again,
because we've interacted
all because of fucking wires that go through our houses.
We've interacted with people from the UK on this podcast on our live stream, especially back when we used to go earlier on Sundays, when they could actually watch live and it's not ass crack at dawn,
right? Like that our New Year's post that's like doing major numbers as far as our insights go. It's mostly overseas,
right?
Like nowhere in the United States is even in our top 4.
But to sit here and interact with all the people on the live stream, if you would, I would have said you're fucking crazy. 32 years ago.
You're high, man. I need some what you're smoking. You got that good Sensimelia, huh?
That is the beautiful thing about this technology, the internet and everything. We can connect with anybody as long as people in Russia right now that either early in the morning, I guess Russia, they some guys drinking vodka.
Hopefully it's Alex Terrible. Shout out Alex Terrible.
And they can hop on here and talk to us from or in Australia if it even exists.
Oi, fuck off. Sitting here having a Foster's, watching a kangaroo beat the fuck out of a wallaby. While it finger fucks I don't know, a dingo and a cocoa bed shitting his brains out. I gave it some peanut butter, chunky style.
But
not used to it.
The beautiful thing about the internet and social media, but yet
that technology is amazing. They just have given it to us to fucking ruin ourselves.
It's slowly turned into this cancer.
It's just like anything else. It's just like politics or religion or anything. Everything is a dick swinging contest.
That's like
it's I'm wrong, you're right. Fuck you, fight me. That's literally how everything works.
But it's like nuclear fission, nuclear power.
Yeah.
By far the best and cleanest way to produce. You get the most bang for your buck in energy.
But all we're worried about is making bombs out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
People are worried about global warming. They should be, I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm just saying if you're that worried about fossil fuels, you should be all.
Yeah, like I get into that argument with people that want to go with global warming is so terrible. Shut up. Or global warming doesn't exist. Shut up. Both of those things are true. Global warming does suck. Yes, we're killing the planet. Yes, we're killing ourselves. Yes, we're killing every species and every type of fauna and in everything in the world. But it does exist in that form. But at the same time, it also exists in that we're just slowly making it worse and we're helping the planet do what it does.
But I'm just saying,
there's two sides of every story, and neither one of them is all the way the fuck right. The only one that's going to be right at the end of the day is Mother Earth that we stand on, because it's still going to fucking be here doing what she do when we're all gone. We just can't wrap our heads around that because we're a vain species of fucking assholes.
Right. But, if you're that concerned about fossil fuels and oil, you should be in the planet. You should be all in on nuclear power, because that
right. Like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, you need to get an electric car. It's still powered by coal, Barbara. What the fuck? Like,
right. I mean, but yet they don't want to touch nuclear because there's such 3 Mile Island, whatever that place in Japan, Fukushima, which those things, of course, the technology now,
Chernobyl.
Well, that's the Russians. Russians are a little sketchy. But
just
even the technology now, that there are so many advancements in that right now where that is even less of a concern.
Yeah.
The meltdown is even, but we don't want to fucking touch it because of the stigma of nuclear. But yet we want to bitch about it, but we want to go with solar, which anybody in their freaking right mind with a common sense or brain in their fucking head realizes solar isn't attainable.
Yeah.
It doesn't produce enough power to power the world.
Nothing does.
Right.
It's impossible. Though, in the only way we could use something to power the world, it's not going to be for the best in the long run. Like it's like I said, we're not a everlasting thing. We're never meant to be. We're all going to be fucking gone. Most species, I don't want to say most species, but a good number of species, specifically insects, the ones we all step on and think are stupid, they're going to be the ones that last.
I agree, but this is my point. This is my whole concept with we take something good and turn it bad, and that is the issue with nuclear. Now the Elohim and the realist, whatever, have it right here. If we can learn to do it in the right way, take these technical advances, and do it the right way,
that'll never happen.
Maybe
the free will of man will never let that
Elon
happen.
Musk is going to solve the problem for us. And get that little brain implant.
Fuck that. And his kid's stupid fucking name.
Okay. But that is what the Raelists believe. We need to take this scientific advancement and turn it to good, which I'm all for, baby.
Right.
Talk dirty to me. I like it. So, and when they do that, that's when the Elohim will come back and say, "What's up, motherfuckers? We're here. Good job, guys.
We're out again."
But apparently, where Raelism goes off the rails is before they come, we have to build an embassy, or shouldn't we? The Raelists have to build an embassy in Israel or by the Temple Mount.
Right.
Okay, that ain't happening, but that's an issue for another fucking day.
Yeah.
Now,
what's next?
Now, where this gets a little iffy for me is they're big on cloning.
Huge on cloning. Apparently, that's already happened. They will not reveal the clones or the cloning technology.
Like I said, this is a scientific-based religion, so there are probably some smart motherfuckers that do this.
Yeah,
or they're in on this.
Mind you, they're technology-based and they have the technology clone, but they're playing "Bicycle" by Queen and the song from fucking Lion King at their rallies.
Yes, well, that's a different story.
And that other stupid fucking song that old boy sang, "Be happy for no reason. Reasons make you crabby." Fuck you, Rael. I'm sorry. Like, he's the Messiah. You can Messiah these nuts, fucker.
And
also, fuck you. You're balding, but you want to tell people that your hair is your antenna to the Elohim.
And here's how fucking awesome the Raelist. They are great with their, it started with his books, his obvious book title choices.
Mm-hmm.
And then for this cloning thing, you know what they called it? An organization engaged in researching the art of cloning. You know what they called it?
What?
Clonaid.
They also had Clitoraid.
Which, I want to get to that because that's... But let's stay with clones right now.
We'll let your imagination run wild with Clitoraid.
It goes right where you think it does. Trust me. And we'll get to that.
It goes right where you think it does, but you can never find it.
I found it once.
It's a myth.
No, it's real. I found it once.
Is it in the butt?
No, that's why you can't find it. Okay. Anyway. Of course, there was a map involved.
A treasure map?
Yeah.
Take 3 paces after the stone that looks like a dead man's skull.
Tom Hanks was Robert Langdon telling me where to go.
Jesus.
Okay, but now cloning is what I get a little iffy about. And here's why. Everybody talks about, AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the destruction of humanity. AI is going to take over the whole Terminator thing.
Yeah, but you want to clone stuff and you're going to have a bunch of fucking like real life versions of Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty. Existence is pain to a Meeseeks, Rick.
I'm not that concerned about AI. I think they're way far off to get it to Terminator style. I personally believe that.
Here's the thing. I feel like for that to happen, it's going to be overnight. It's going to go from one extreme to the next, and they're going to be like, oh, well, it's pretty cool. They're like, it fucking killed everyone. It even killed Helen and HR.
Now,
she was a sweetheart.
What really scares me is the clone.
I mean, with one comes the other. AI, like, if cloning becomes a thing that's like they're doing, AI is going to fall in suit. Like, they're going to put them together.
Now, we've talked about consciousness on this podcast. Where does it come from? What is it? Is it generated between our ears?
It comes from the seventh chakra, man.
Is it generated between our ears, or is it generated off site and our brain retrieves?
It's downloaded into our matrix.
Who knows what it is? But with cloning, a picture of a picture. Have you ever taken a picture of a picture?
Yes.
It sucks. That picture of a picture sucks.
There's no soul because your soul got taken when the picture was taken.
It still looks somewhat similar, but it's different.
Yeah.
You clone me.
Unless you've got an iPhone 13 Pro Max.
I mean, obviously, the more times you clone an individual, that clone is going to be a little off.
Yeah.
Or you clone the wrong person, like Jeffrey fucking Dahmer. You know what I'm saying?
And he comes out normal.
Or even more fucked up.
I think it's kind of like
Kuklinski.
Like the gym teacher's hormone monster from Big Mouth was a clone, I think. Like the other hormones, like ripe tomato did it for you this time. He's like, what do you think about a button-down shirt? He said, you mean a gaping butthole with 10 clits? And then you got the other hormone monster for the gym teachers, like, his horn sideways. He's got a droopy lip.
But the cloning is what fucking scares me. I'm not concerned about.
I mean, like, I don't believe in a god, but like the only way to put it is that's playing God. That's playing with toys that we're not meant to have the keys to the toy chest for.
Okay, AI. We are pretty far off on the AI. But you remember, what was it, 2 years ago or last year? The two computers, I think it was at Google, started talking to each other in the language. And
talking about like how we were inferior beings and how they should take us over.
You know how they fucking handled that? They basically unplugged the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You could do that right now.
Yeah.
So right now with AI,
it's going to get to the point where you can't. They're going to push that envelope and they're going to be like, well, shit. And I'm going to go,
I agree.
Good job, stupid.
But I think we're a far piece off on that. I think we're cloning, though.
It's happened with animals.
You just can't fucking unplug a fucking.
Cloning has happened with animals.
So they
want to talk about they don't want GMOs in our food, but you have GMOs fucking walking around. Or like theoretically, you have the ability to basically have a child that is a GMO soon, a genetically modified organism. You're going to be able to go in and fucking pick their hair color, their eye color, their what kind of stature they're going to grow into, like all kinds of like that's a great idea. Great job, Karen. Way to be.
But that, like I said, that is what.
Don't give more money to your kid's public school system, but fucking funnel your money into that shit so you can have the perfect fucking child, and she can go on to be the cheerleader that you never were.
Oh, but here's how. We're in 2022. I got it right this time. In 2020 or I'm not 2020. 2002, the company that Raelism are working close with says that they cloned a human baby in 2002.
Yeah,
19 years ago,
successfully, they say,
named Eve. Now, I don't believe there's any proof of that.
Eve,
but
there is no. They won't reveal. They say they have proof. They won't reveal it. They won't reveal it until whatever it is. Until it's said that they're supposed to reveal it and it's perfected.
So, but like I said, cloning is what Eve could be a serial killer.
Yeah, probably.
Like I said, I'm more worried about cloning than I am AI right now, because right now AI hit Control-Alt-Delete,
right,
and reboot that fucking system. But cloning, you can't fucking do that. Now, let's get into.
He even said it. Like, give a computer its own mind is a great idea. It's just like the rant I went on months ago when I found out that they had put human DNA into a fucking chimp embryo and it had germinated and started to grow and they decided to abort it. No shit, Sherlock. Good job. I try not to touch on abortion. To each their own. I really don't give a fuck. If it doesn't have anything to do with me, unless it has something to do with me, then I'll have an opinion. Of course you should abort that one. Are you shitting me? Have you seen the 7 fucking Planet of the Apes movies where they just butt fucked us to death because they're like, oh wait, we're 5 times stronger than you, and now we have your thought processes. I guess we'll stay in the zoo. No, you fucking idiots. You don't mix those two. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let's go ahead and just take human intelligence, put it in a silverback gorilla, give it wings and fucking fully automatic weapons while we're at it, you fucking idiots. Good job. Hey, Richard, did you get you did give them the fully automatic weapons. Okay, how's that going? Tom's dead. Okay. Can you get Bill on the phone? I think we're gonna have to have a meeting about it because it's just fucking bullet in the head. And then and they just fucking start smashing out windows and they're like, you're ours now. And they're like fist fucking the president and like ripping the fucking Vladimir Putin's head off and like bowling with it into like the skulls of like fucking Tunisian fucking dictators, and they're just like, Rah! And they'll be like, I can't believe this happened. And then there's guys like me just sitting in the woods praying that they don't find me, the monkey people, and I'm like, the fuck do you mean you didn't see this coming, you idiot?
I agree.
Why don't you just give them the code to the nukes while you're at it, you fucking moron? Jesus Christ. And then those super intelligent silverback people with the super intelligence and the automatic weapons, then they get their hands on the fucking cloning technology. And next thing you know, they're just rattling each other out left and right. And they're walking out. He's like, William, Thelonious, Bartholomew, Bertram. And there's just like with multiple of them coming out, and they're like, yes, gun, thank you, cigar, kill.
The only thing that's going to save us, like
Jesus.
No.
Will Ferrell.
No, if they give the different apes human tendencies and human intelligence,
and then they just basically start a race war.
They'll fight amongst themselves for a while because the silverbacks, the chimpanzees will make fun of the silverbacks even though they're much bigger.
Tyler said, "Watch Splice." I've seen Splice. I'm sure you've seen Splice. You've probably seen Splice.
But anyway, getting back to fucking whatever, the good and bad of Raelism. Let's
get into the fucking nuts and bolts of this thing.
This by
free love.
They are very open.
Cool, whatever.
They're very open.
Oh yeah, apparently they just like pull their tits out and start flopping them around.
I'm all for it.
They have like fucking little drives. Like I said, the little furry alien in my Instagram post is an actual Raelian like mascot that they use overseas in like Korea and shit to try to recruit people, if you will.
Right. But they're very open. They're very accepting.
Yeah. Like they don't force, like when you like I said, that Oh No Ross and Carrie podcast, they actually went to it. Like they don't force people to stay.
No.
If you're like, I don't want to denounce my religion or I don't want to denounce my beliefs and I don't want to do this, they're like, okay,
because
later.
That podcast that Travis was talking about, they actually went to and got baptized.
Yeah.
Their version of baptized. And one of the people,
because they said the guy that did it clearly didn't, or one of the guys that was doing it clearly didn't know what he was doing because there was somebody else just sitting there like, yeah, do this.
But one of the people that they were there with doing it changed his mind. And they said, oh, okay, no problem. It happens. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
So they're very accepting.
Like they don't expect money from you.
Yeah, it's not.
They just like to have their tits out. They like to fuck. They a lot of free love.
A lot of free love.
Especially for Rael.
And we'll get to that.
Also some.
We'll get to that. But they are very.
Well, because apparently the Elohim and Yahweh made him a redhead, a brunette, and a blonde, and he just
I want all
fucked
three.
All day.
I want all three.
And then had like the best bath of his life or some shit.
Now,
and mind you, this man is never accessible. Except for Vice. Vice did do a documentary on Raelism.
Another actually good thing about this, they are big on women's rights.
Clitorade,
which is, I don't have all the.
You can pretty much put it together in your head.
I'm not a female, so I do not know about female problems, but I'm sure there's.
Oh, I mean, it's a massive problem. Like, especially depending on where you live in the world. There's parts of Africa where they will like capture women and cut their clitoris off.
Free the clitoris. Fight the power.
Power to the steeple. You get it? Have you ever gotten that advice on how to eat vagina, how to commit cunnilingus? This is the church. This is the steeple. Open the doors and eat all the people. Power to the steeple.
But they are big on women's rights and even gay rights. They are very open. They partake in a lot of the parades and stuff. So they're
they're open for open love within their own community, both the ability to have sexual encounters with one another and the ability to have sexual encounters with the same sex or opposite sex if you want to.
Whatever
and because they also apparently like tag people. You wear like this green means
something.
Like I'm this black, and I guess the only one I specifically remember is black is under 18, not looking for any sexual contact. Should have just left it at under 18, personally. But you do you, Rael.
But then
because I totally want my under 18-year-old kid to be going to hang out with a guy named fucking Rael.
And also,
how did you choose your name? It's what I do, baby.
But it's even if you don't want to partake in that part of,
they don't make you.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So they are very open. They are very.
Now,
but
that being said, Rael himself does potentially have some sexual assaulty things in his past.
Well,
including he did have a wife and kids before all this shit, including his wife claiming that he wasn't the best husband and he would, I don't want to say force, but in a way possibly force her to watch him engage in sexual activity with other women. That's not cool.
Especially if she's not into it.
Now, and if you're committing sexual assault, also just not fucking cool.
But this is common with, let's be honest, all cults.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing Christianity in with
and that. What's crazy is he's the leader of this whole thing with the free love thing. And that's usually how it goes.
Right. Yeah.
It's usually the cult leader that gets all the fucking vagina and penis.
Right.
Look at Jim Jones. Jim Jones had a lady to control his fucking pussy schedule, if you will. Not to be too blatant and blunt, but that's literally what he had a secretary for his fucking vaginal intake.
I mean, cult leader or religious leader, let's face it, religious.
Yeah, Joel Osteen's just fucking laying down pipe.
Male and female.
Yeah, and every time he's like, I thought you weren't supposed to wear condoms because we couldn't make a baby. Well, you see, honey, I have a special relationship with God because I make $40 million a year off stupid fucks like you. Charles, get this bitch out of my bed and bring me the next one.
But that's the thing with power. That happens with power. And that's unfortunately most men.
The Anthill Kids leader, Rocktario. We've done an Anthill Kids episode.
Yes, we have. But that is par for the course. You give a man power, even a woman power. Anybody with power, it eventually comes down to sex.
What's the word? Who gets power? Power corrupts absolutely and absolute. What is it?
So I've heard.
It's like power corrupts.
Money corrupts.
No, it's power corrupts absolutely, and absolute power corrupts
something like that.
Yeah,
whatever.
So the more power you have, the more corrupt you're going to be one way or the other, even if you don't realize it. And once you have all the power, you're going to be all the way corrupt because all you have to think about is what's good for you.
And I'm going to look at this through a male perspective because we are both men. He who gets the most pussy wins. When you're a cult leader.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to a dick swinging contest, like I've said 1,000 times. Right. That is the ultimate dick swinging contest, is what man, to break it down to its most basest form, what man has spread his seed to the most flowers to fertilize and spread his name more than anybody else.
Right. That is, we were put here to procreate.
Genghis Khan was the best.
The man. Laying pipe, slinging dick and arrows.
Also the richest man, by if you count inflation, ever to walk the face of the earth. He would have been one of the only trillionaires. Yes. He would have been worth like a billion Bill Gates or something like that.
Now, did you hear about the orders of the angels?
A little bit.
Basically, it's an internal part of this religion.
It's the cool kids club.
It's like Charlie's Angels and Rael is Charlie.
Yeah.
Kind of like, that's how it works. But these are all women, and apparently they service Rael. which apparently it is.
It's an honor.
It's an honor. They don't. It's not forced. You do not have to partake if this is something you want to go to. Apparently, so they say. I don't know.
Right, like he's just sitting back there, like, I'm sorry, sir, I don't think I can do this. It's cool, baby. Do you want to watch? Rael likes the voyeurs. You can watch me lay the pipe.
So
you can watch Rael.
So I don't think this is all that bad of religion.
I think it's just.
I will take this over Scientology.
I think it's just a little weird. I think it's just a bunch of weird people looking for something weird to be together in.
But I will take Raelism, Raelism over Scientology any day of the week. Fuck those fucktards.
They'll never be royals. You can call me Queen Bee. Oh, but while we're on the topic of Raelism, can we talk about this fact? Because these two things kind of line up for me. So we both know the new symbol or totem.
Oh yeah, we get to
the the Star of David with like some swirly shit in the middle. Now originally it was a Star of David with a swastika in the middle,
and people lost their shit.
Because let's be realistic, it is potentially the most triggering combination of two symbols that you can put together.
Oil and water,
literally. But okay, so we're all about peace and free love, but we're gonna have a totem,
but in there
that is a Star of David with a swastika in the middle. And then, did you hear what Rael said about black people?
No, I did not hear what.
Oh, according to him, and this has nothing to do with race because they don't believe in racism.
Okay,
even though he is
there a big butt coming on here?
There's a big old butt. We like big butts. We will not lie.
You other brothers can't deny.
But when Rael walks in and throws this bullshit in your face, you get dumber. According to Rael and his teachings, there is he says that black people, African American people.
Rael speaking correct, not Travis.
Yes. Well, I mean, I call black people. Most of my black friends don't know where their ancestral ancestral family is from in Africa. So where's the connection really, other than just genetic? But he's, according to him and his teachings and his vast wisdom, black people need to go back to Africa, not because they're not because they're inferior, but because X% of the black population of America could completely upturn and unroot the monetary and economical hardships of the country of Africa, which that might be true.
Not a bad concept, but in theory.
It really sounds like you're a guy that has a Star of David with a swastika in the middle of it posted all over his fucking house, and you just don't fucking like black people. And you just found you're like, now that's exactly what that is. That's a now hear me out. Hold on, before you jump down my throat. The black people need to leave the country. I'm French. I'm okay to be here. This isn't my country, but the black people need to leave. Why? Economic superiority of the race within their own country and countries and continent. No, dipshit. Like, it's like I said, you should have been racism because you're a race car driver and you started a religion. It's fucking funny and punny. There you go. 1. 2. That being said, you've got a goddamn swastika in the middle of the Star of David to show people what you're about. That's a good start.
Well, okay.
That's a way to get people to think that you're an understanding, loving human being. But I've said it before. That sounds like a cop-out way of saying that you want black people to leave the countries that they are not originally from, bloodline-wise and shit like that. I would prefer if he just came out and was like, I don't fucking like black people. They need to get out. Not that it's better, but I'd be like, at least you're fucking being upfront about what you're trying to say. Instead of being like, you should take your money and give it back. I don't know why he's German all the time.
I don't know. We're just talking swastika.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've been
about the swastika.
The spirit has moved me.
Can we talk about the swastika?
I mean, yeah, the swastika doesn't always mean what we know it to mean. I don't disagree with that.
I get kind of frustrated with this.
Yeah, it was originally a sign of peace and prosperity.
It's a Hindu, originally Hindu. That what Hitler did, which he did a lot of, would steal something and use it for his own, make it his own.
Yeah.
I'm not like Raelism used that to try and take it back, to bring it back.
But you didn't do a very good job of it, because you took it and you put it in the Star of David.
According to some of their literature, that is why they mesh the two, to bring it, to take ownership of it back.
And also, if you're all knowing and shit, the fuck good is your all knowing if that clearly didn't work out for you, because you no longer use that symbol.
I mean, I don't want to say I'm okay with Nazism, but it is time to take back, just because Hitler,
I could give a fuck about the swastika, really. But the fact that you know what you're doing when you take the swastika and you put it in the Star of David.
Yeah,
that's pushing the lines too far. That's in bad taste.
But there is something to taking these things back.
Yeah, I could give a flying fuck. You can use the swastika for whatever you want. I really don't give a shit.
That is what is known for now. Because
if you're a Nazi, or if you're not, you're not. Whatever.
It's like the OK symbol. Oh, you're a racist. Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
It's like, that's what I'm saying.
I love that. Speaking of TikTok, I love the TikToks where it has that one fucking blonde. If this is a racial sign or whatever, and the black people go, this is about to get awkward, and they start doing, it's the fucking OK symbol. God damn, relax.
It is what it is. Get the fuck over it. I mean, and I feel the same way. Like I really, if you're not a Nazi or a racist,
right, that's what I'm saying.
And you're like, and you believe in like fucking old school Hinduistic Hinduism, I don't know, thought process, whatever. Have a fucking swastika. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, look at Gonzo decided to show up.
About fucking time, pumpkin. But like, I don't give a shit. It's just a symbol. Like, if you have a swastika backed in red with a fucking iron eagle on top of it, that's probably not good. Yeah, that's probably not good. Now, if you have a fucking tie-dye tapestry with like Vishnu and Krishna and then a fucking swastika, whatever, I don't fucking care. Whatever you want to do, pumpkin. But it's like I said, you can't tell me that this guy didn't know that he was going to stir the fucking pot when he took a swastika and put it in the Star of David. He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing.
He is brilliant in one part. That's called, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
It
keeps your name.
He rode the shit out of that.
Oh, right.
And like, he definitely was like, actually, wait, hold. He's like,
did they go back to it? They went to that swirly one.
Yeah.
And I think they said, fuck it, we're not getting enough publicity. Go back to the swastika.
I don't know.
I think.
I mean,
I'm okay with trying if the people want to take back.
No takesies backies.
The swastika and bring it back to what it originally meant.
Go for it. I really don't fucking care. It's just a symbol.
Like you said, I'm smart enough to realize, as long as you don't back it up, you're not, high stepping with your hand.
Right. Like, as long as you're like, oh, peace and love, and Vishnu has taught us this, and you're not back there like, look at my swastika 9999.
You have to understand what I think everybody can agree. Hitler was a douchebag.
No.
I think we can agree with.
He was a sack of shit. The only good thing, and I don't want to say good thing. The only thing that Hitler did well was brainwash and manipulate people.
Oh, he was.
I say all the time, he was one of the best political minds of all time, but he was a raging sack of shit.
How pissed
if
off.
He was preaching love and acceptance, he would have been one of the best people who have ever lived, ever, because he would have taken an entire continent and been like, we all love each other. We don't kill each other in the millions.
Motherfucker could stir a crowd. We'll give him fucking that.
Wait, his political mind was unmatched by most people.
But
he was a sack of shit.
Big old sack of shit.
Yeah, he used it in the complete wrong way.
Went off the rails.
Like I said, they should have just let him into art school. Jesus
saved everybody. Jesus.
If he would have got let into art school and not had such a small, impotent penis.
That's right. He had a micro penis, didn't he?
But apparently it didn't work.
Well, because he was whacked out on fucking drugs.
He was getting mercury shot into his dick, I believe.
Well, that wasn't that for the
syphilis,
the treatment for syphilis back in the day.
They did the same thing to Blackbeard, and I think Capone.
Huh? Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, Capone he would fish in his pond after they let him out of Alcatraz because his mind broke. True story. Tom Hardy played him in a movie. It's on Amazon. I didn't watch it. I started it and I was like, this is already good. I can already tell this is not going to tell me any new information. Next.
All right. Well, I think we covered Raelism. I will say this. I will go Raelism over Scientology any day of the week.
So you'd rather rail than science?
Well, Scientology, no offense, Tom Cruise.
Culty. Even more culty.
And you're way too fucking expensive. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. And here's my problem with Scientology. Believe whatever the fuck you want. The whole disconnect, if your family does not agree with the religion,
that's fucking bullshit.
That is fucking bullshit.
I'm just like what they did to Katie Holmes.
I forget what the term is.
Look what they did to Katie Holmes when she fucking divorced Tom Cruise. She had to sign a contract saying that she would not speak to the press or be seen with another.
And, PIs parked outside the door.
That was it's an abrasive word that most people don't like.
That out and breaking up families just because they don't believe in their version of whatever. If they would take that out of the equation, I have no issues with Scientology. None whatsoever, other than it's a little expensive. And I like to call bullshit on a lot of shit. I could never be a Scientologist.
You know me. Could you see me accepting any religion?
I mean, I think that we ought to do.
I'd be the guy sitting in the back at every different religion eating fucking ice cream by the pint. Prove it. And he saves it. Boo!
But it was the can.
I could be watching football right now, dickhead.
That was that test they do where you hold the cans.
Auditing.
Auditing, yes.
To test your thetans.
I would have a field day with that shit.
I'd be like, you guys better fucking Clorox this before the next guy touches it because there is seed all over it now.
Which, that is the same thing as confession.
Yeah.
That is what, let's be honest. That is how one of the reasons.
It's just in a confessional, you feel like you're liberating yourself, whereas in an audit, you feel like you're being put on the spot.
But you don't think confession, you learn from people's darkest fucking thing. You don't think that was, especially back in the Inquisition days and shit like that. You don't think they used that shit?
What do you have to confess?
Oh,
I murdered 387 Christians. Why? Because
the church leader goes to the Bob, says, Bob, we know you like to spank it looking at your daughter. You said so in confession. Why don't you pony up a little bit more money in the plate?
How many times do we have to tell you it's only okay if it's on the internet and she's stuck in a dryer or under the bed?
Or the coffee table.
Sure. Or any other place where a human being would never get stuck.
Exactly.
I'm stuck in this train underpass. Help me, step bro.
All right. You ready to get out of here? I think we covered it. We went way too long on this. How do we
do the priests have to call the cops if the confessor is a murderer? A clergyman has the right to break the code of confession in situations like that. Yes, they can do that. They're not obligated technically because nobody would know. But a priest can tell the police if somebody's like, I raped 10 women or I murdered these small boys. A priest can then break that confidentiality and go to the police.
The more you know. Are you making this shit up?
No.
Okay.
It's just like doctor-patient confidentiality. Like if you're worried about your patient's well-being or the well-being of the people around them, a doctor-patient confidentiality can be breached in the right way.
Yeah, with a warrant.
Yeah. No, I don't think that these priests go directly to the cops, but you can talk to somebody and be like, hey guys, so I was in the booth. It was Tuesday. Terry was sick. Don't worry about it. Terry's fine. Don't yell at Terry for this. But Mr. Smith, really swell guy.
I watched that movie too, Mr. and Mr. Smith.
Jesus,
I watched a lot of fucking movies.
Puts a 20 in the plate every week. Yeah, 2 kids. Yeah, private school. Yeah, that guy. Apparently, And I don't know how to say this. I don't know what we're gonna do about it. That's why I figured I'd talk to you, Monsignor. He's Jack the fucking Ripper. What are we gonna do about this? Just brush it under the fucking rug. No, yeah, they can break that confidentiality.
Well, now we know. I guess.
I don't even know if they can within the church, but like just as humans, I
would be a horrible
I know that it's happened.
I could not keep that secret.
Like I know that it's happened, and I know that as far as I know, they haven't gotten in trouble for it.
I mean, by the time
that's doing your that's doing your duty.
If I was a priest and you came into my confession and you were telling me some of the shit you did, you'd walk out, say 15 Hail Marys, and walk the fuck on.
It might be if they say they're going to do one of these things. I don't know. There's some ins and outs to it.
Hey, Paul, guess what I just heard?
No. There's ins and outs to all of this shit.
I do not want a free trial. Fucking YouTube. All right. I think we're out of here. We greatly appreciate everybody who joined us.
Yeah, it's 10:30.
Everybody that joined us on the live stream. If you are listening to this on your favorite podcast
you got to hear my jaws pop tonight.
On your favorite podcast app, be sure to go over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And leave us a hopefully good review on whatever app you're listening on.
Yes, that would be greatly.
Or if you're going to leave a bad review, make it a good one that we can make fun of on the next show.
And then tune in the next week's when we make fun of you. But we don't want those. We only want love.
Another 30 minutes? No, fuck off. Jonzo said another 30 minutes. It's not our fault that we've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes and you just showed up.
We are the Raelists. We want love
fucking twatter puss.
But be sure to follow us on all our social media. There'll be a list in the description at some point. Hopefully
at some point.
Oh well, hopefully next week we'll have this live stream shit worked out. I had the vid.
That's the Honda.
I had the Rona, so I was a little unprepared.
Let's get out of here.
I at least survived Rona.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
My fat ass survived Corona.
So did I.
What do you do?
But you want a fucking cookie?
You were like 30. I'm in the range.
I have a
death.
digestive disorder. All right.
I'm pushing 50.
I was on death's doorstep.
I should be dead. How I survived, it's a miracle.
I shit an entire house cat.
Okay.
When I had COVID.
You win. We're out here. Good night. Take care, everybody.